Hello everyone, good morning. Ramadan Kareem, Assalamu alaikum. Actually, happy to see you and thanks for joining us today, this webinar, along with our partner DerSecure, where we will talk about one of the much needed solutions nowadays where almost everything connected to applications and binary codes. With me here, Mr. Andy Dankevich, the Chief Marketing Officer from DerSecure, and I am Ferras Alhorani, Pre-Sales Engineer Solution Architect, talking to you from Cloud Network Solutions. Just let me, before start, give a brief about our company, Cloud Network Solutions. So we are an IT and cloud service provider. Our main focus actually and experience in the cybersecurity field. We have a big experience in this field. That's why our commitment always to deliver high quality projects and services to our clients and support them to secure their systems and infrastructure as well. We are in the market since 2015, and we had implemented more than 1,000 projects. Almost, we have a team consist of 50 or more than engineers and specialists, and our journey has many successful stories implementing cybersecurity solutions from A to Z. More than 60 partners. One of our partners is DerSecure. And our webinar today is to introduce their solution, DerScanner, and show how this product can be very useful for your security systems and to your business as well. Be sure to stay with us till the end. I think there is a big valuable bonus will be announced by Andy. And thanks again for joining. It's to you, Andy, please.
All right. So, good morning, everyone. Happy to have you here, Ferras. Thanks a lot for this warm introduction. And I'm Andy Dankevich from DerSecure, and our product is called DerScanner. So today we're going to talk about application security challenges, how we address them, and the solutions that will help you eliminate both known and unknown vulnerabilities and code threats. So just a little bit of a context. We know that everybody now lives in a world where digital transformation has just happened. And there are more and more agile teams who are working in a very fast-paced environment. So developers are always in a rush, heading to the deadlines of releasing new software as soon as possible. And unfortunately, sometimes the security is left behind is such a fast-paced. So security is hardly following the developer's fast movement. And we know that during development process, developers are taking the shortcuts. For example, they may leave hard-coded secrets, such as embedding passwords, API keys, or encryption keys directly in the source code. And those can be then extracted by malicious actors. And unfortunately, sometimes encryption is not properly used, so the sensitive information can be breached. And developers are leaving backdoors inside the applications. So we know that it's easier for them to facilitate easier access to the application, for example, for debugging purposes, but it poses like big security risk. And if we imagine a web application with different input forms, if they are not validated properly, those could lead to vulnerabilities such as SQL injections, cross-site scripting, buffer overflows, etc. And of course, everybody loves open source and third-party components. A typical modern application can comprise out of 80% of inherited dependencies, different libraries, open source components, etc., and only like 20% of custom written code. And people just download those components from the internet without any security pre-checks that could introduce vulnerabilities and malicious code in the applications. So we have to deal with this somehow. And the only question here is that, are you going to be fixing all of these issues before data breach or after data breach? So it's up to you, it's your choice. And we have like two options. Would you prefer to have cheaper way and or expensive way? Because if you find vulnerabilities late in the development, in software development lifecycle, let's say when the application is already up and running, it's going to be extremely expensive and time consuming to fix all those issues. So that's why we introduce static analysis early in the development pipeline. So once you have your source code of your applications, let's say at the coding or building stages of the software development lifecycle, it's a good idea to start testing those source code against known patterns and known vulnerabilities. So with using static analysis early in the development pipeline, you will be able to find hard-coded secrets, backdoors, SQL injections, cross-site scripting, and many other vulnerabilities and security threats. So this approach is called shift left. So we start testing applications early in the development pipeline. So it's easier because the application is not released yet, and it's easier and cheaper for you to actually fix those issues and then release a secure application that doesn't have any vulnerabilities in there. And the great thing about DerScanner is that we support major and most popular programming languages. I have to fix this slide. Now the number is already 43. So we support 43 programming languages and frameworks, including your favorite ones like Java, C, C++, Python, and some exclusive programming languages, for example, like Delphi. So we are very proud of being like #1 choice for Delphi security testing, and we're a technological partner with Embarcadero, the company that develops the most popular Delphi IDE platform. So you don't have to be worried about the programming languages that might be used in your applications, because DerScanner will identify any language automatically and do the testing and security screening of your application. And so to be able to actually shift security left and embed DerScanner in the software development lifecycle, we support a number of integrations. So depending on what your teams are using, we are able to integrate with repositories, VCS hostings, development environments, IDEs, CI/CD servers, bug tracking software, and even some code analysis tools. Because sometimes companies actually use not one, but like two static analyzers, and we have projects where we like work side by side with such scanners as, for example, SonarQube. And if you are looking for some kind of a custom-made integration, we have Open API, so you can leverage it. It provides you with powerful integration and automation options, so you can actually build any kind of a structure and any kind of a use case depending on the software that you're using in development. And there is actually one issue with static analyzers. Sometimes they can be too noisy. And we know this issue, and we're trying our best to address it in the most efficient way. So with DerScanner, we have a proprietary technology that is called Fuzzy Logic Engine that helps you set priorities and lower the number of false positive findings. So it means once you scan your application and you, for example, like have been able to find, like, let's say 4,000 vulnerabilities, and you're not quite sure which ones are the most important ones and which ones you have to focus on at the first place. So you can enable Fuzzy Logic Engine. It will filter out all the false positives findings, and you can focus on the first bunch of vulnerabilities, for example, like 1,500 or 2,000 vulnerabilities that have been filtered out with fuzzy logic engine. And it will mean that these are the most important ones. These are the most critical detections. And so you can start fixing those at the first place, and then you can actually adjust the settings of fuzzy logic engine and to complete like the whole cycle of fixing vulnerabilities in your application. But there can be a couple of use cases where the source code of applications is not available. For example, you may have a legacy application that been poorly documented or outdated, or you need to go through a compliance audit pretty fast and you don't have time to collect all the source codes, or you want to target even some exotic vulnerabilities. In that case, we provide the binary analysis capability in DerScanner. So you can upload your application in any of the available formats, including executables, DLL, jar, var, APK, IPA, etc., etc. And there will be like a science and magic will happen. We will reconstruct the source code of your application, and we will map all the vulnerabilities, highlighting how to fix those. And on the other hand, if you may have a mobile application at least, you can provide us with a URL to your mobile application. So you can locate it on Google Play or App Store, copy the URL, paste it to DerScanner, click a scan button, and you will have the security report showing you the vulnerabilities and security issues that are they're presented in your mobile application. So we don't have to have the source code of mobile application. We can do it just, our scanner will grab it from the App Store, reconstruct the source code, scan it, and provide you with a security report. Another technology under the hood of DerScanner is dynamic analysis. So I do believe all of you are pretty familiar with penetration testing. So the pretty useful technology actually to try to attack your application, and we'll see how it responds. So dynamic analysis works pretty similar way. So it is trying to attack your application and find the vulnerabilities that can be exploited at the stage of your web application is up and running. And the great thing about DerScanner is that dynamic analysis works in collaboration with static analysis. So what you're going to do is you start with scanning your source code, and then you will have like one list of vulnerabilities. Then you take the same application, but the working version of the web application, provide DerScanner a URL to attack, and you will have another list of vulnerabilities. And DerScanner blends those findings up and correlates the vulnerabilities that have been found by both static analysis and dynamic analysis. And it will mean that those vulnerabilities found and cross-verified by both methods are the most important ones, and those can be exploited from external perspective. So in that case, it helps you prioritize the findings and focus on the alerts that really important and have to be fixed at the first place. And we know that for some companies, compliance can be a very important topic. So, for example, for organizations that come from financial sector or healthcare, so you need to go through a PCI DSS audit or HIPAA audit. DerScanner supports a number of different frameworks and the best practices, security best practices, including OWASP, CWE, SANS Top 25, etc. So if you need to leverage our application security testing tool for going through a compliance assessment, it's the right choice. And I would also like to highlight that DerScanner is a solution that's been certified by MITRE. So you can make sure we update our vulnerability database on time, and you will be able to actually find all the necessary vulnerabilities in your applications. So we're certified by MITRE, we're compatible with CWE standard. So it's another way actually to verify that DerScanner is the right choice for you. So we actually started this presentation with one of the issues with the applications development is that everybody relies on open source, and we cannot actually restrict developers from using open source components, but we need to make sure that open source is safe to be used in your application. At the first place, you can enable software composition analysis in DerScanner. And using these testing methods, you will be able to find the known vulnerabilities inside of your open source components that have been used in your application. And on the other hand, if there are any license risks associated with open source components, those will be highlighted as well. Because sometimes, let's say you took one of the open source components, and it according to its licensing policy, it can be allowed to be used in other open source projects. But if you want to use these open source component in a commercial grade software, there can be different liabilities and restrictions. So that's why it's very, very vital to run software composition analysis and to first to understand the vulnerabilities that are presented in your open source components and to see the licensing risks. So this is actually possible with software composition analysis in DerScanner. And I know that you're pretty familiar with such attacks that been around for a while, like Heartbleed, Equifax, SolarWinds, Apache Log4j. And if those companies could have had software composition analysis at that time, they could have avoided such attacks, because all of those are associated with the issues in open source components. So in that case, if they could have software composition analysis enabled, they would have been flagged about outdated frameworks and facilitate timely updates and prevent potential data breach. So, and like with software composition analysis, you're able actually to find the known vulnerabilities inside your open source code. But there are different vectors of attacks where the vulnerability is not yet documented. Let's call it zero-day vulnerability. I'll give you one example. So there can be a database on GitHub. So what malicious actors could do is they just clone it, mimic its name, embed some malicious code in there, publish it on GitHub to be looking very legitimate, and wait for developers to download this package, embed it in their application, and then enable some malicious code to be working, and it will lead to some cryptolocker or similar attack. So actually, to avoid such kind of attack vectors, what we do is DerScanner continuously assesses GitHub repositories. And for every package, we provide you with the health rating that will tell you whether this dependency is safe to be used, or you probably better to be looking for something else. So you're able actually to upload your source codes or software bill of materials to DerScanner. It will test all the dependencies that you have in your application and highlight those supply chain security risks. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a rating on a scale out of 5. For example, you see a package in your application, its rating is 3.4. So it means, oh, probably it's a better idea to be looking for some replacement, because we collect a number of different metrics and scorings. For example, like how popular is the package? Was the author of the package a trusted person, or did the author enable basic security settings, etc., etc. It's a long list of different metrics and scorings, and we blend them up and provide you with a simple rating of secureness of your open source packages inside your application. And as you see, I just introduced you our approach to application security. So we recommend to start early in the development pipeline with embedding, enabling static analysis. Once you have the source codes ready, you can start testing your application, fix the vulnerabilities, and to avoid those to be presented in the production. And dynamic analysis comes pretty handy for testing and deploying stage. We do provide the capabilities for open source security, including software composition analysis and supply chain security. And of course, in some particular cases where the source codes are unavailable, you can leverage binary analysis. So our approach to deployment is actually mostly on-premise based. So you install DerScanner on your premises, so everything is under your control, so you keep the privacy at the highest level. But if you want to pursue some trial version or POC, the fastest way to try DerScanner is to ask us about the access to our cloud. So there are like two options: on-premise one and cloud version. So the major part of the deployments are on-premise based. But if you need access to our cloud, we can provide you with this. And as the bottom line, let's summarize why customers choose DerScanner rather than any other application security testing platform. So we're a single application security testing solution, natively integrating major application security technologies like static analysis, dynamic analysis, software composition analysis. And we provide the detection and correlation for the full context and to understand the issues that matter the most. To fight the false positives, we provide you with the fuzzy technology. We have been around on the market. So we're a solution that's been recognized by Forrester, among other leading SaaS vendors. We're certified by Mitra according to CWE classification, and we're highly rated by our customers. So sometimes we hear from our customers that the reports and different security tools can be, tricky to be read by cybersecurity professionals because those are written for developers. So this is not our approach, and we try our best to customize the reports to be easily understandable for cybersecurity professionals. And DerScanner is the right tool for security audits, because even if you don't have access to your source code, so you can check running applications, mobile applications, legacy apps, and a combination of static analysis and dynamic analysis. So we do still provide like a traditional technical support, no bots, only classical people-powered support, and the messenger chat support is available for enterprise customers. And so we have plenty of experience in the region. We have companies like Ruhans, the biggest water distributing company, and different other big names like Just Eat Takeaway. So if you need some cases, success stories, we were able to share those with you. And now I want to thank you for participating in this webinar. And what we prepared for you is that now you're familiar with our approach in application security. And if you have any requests regarding testing your application, we can provide you with a bonus. So if you want to try test your application, please send the word webinar to info@cloudnetworks.ae. So Cloud Networks is our partner, and they will be taking care about your request. So what you will get, we will create an account for you in our cloud version of DerScanner that will provide you with one static analysis testing, one dynamic analysis testing, one software composition analysis, and one software supply chain security. So this is like about $1,200 value. So for you who presented in this webinar, we provide it absolutely for free. So if you want to test your application without any obligations, absolutely for free, go through a security audit. So send us a webinar at info@cloudnetworks.ae, and we will provide you access to DerScanner. If you're interested in a demo and any trial project, you want to try our solution. So again, get in touch with our partner. We do rely on them. They provide great support in all our deals, and we will be happy to serve you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Ferras, go ahead.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. It's really interesting. Actually, as we saw that this solution is almost for most of the companies, for most of the business. Whether you are into software developing company, so you need to be sure that your applications and your software is appliance with and following the standards, and ensure that it's secure to your clients. Or whether you are a normal company, normal business, and you are using such kind of any kind of applications. So maybe this applications has some weak points of backdoors can be used by the bad actors or attackers to hack your system and take your information. Especially that developers, a lot of developers using ready codes as Andy mentioned earlier. So they are used ready codes to embedded in this in those applications or ChatGPT even. So just last but not least, feel free anytime to contact our team, and we'll be very happy to assist you to try this product, and send us a webinar if you are interested to try it, and we will be happy to assist you. Thanks again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can always get in touch with us, and we will get back to you with a follow-up and send you a webinar recording. And if you may have any inquiries or questions, so feel free to get in touch with Cloud Networks or with DerScanner.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.